Here it is after all this time of waiting. It's the Q&A video. Yeah, it's about time, huh? Well, actually, no, it's not about time because it's only been about a week. So, I win this time. Not used to winning, but oh well. So, you guys have asked me a lot of questions. There's going to be a lot of them here from a lot of different people. And yeah, I'm going to answer just about all of them, all the really relevant ones. There's one or two in there that I won't because they're just kind of, well, not something I myself can really answer. But for the most part, you guys did great, and I'm hoping to do another one of these at some point, but for the time being, here we go. And I'm going to do these in an entirely random order, so if you asked a question and you're towards the end, don't take it personally. And take it personally, it's more fun that way. Okay, so, David Alvarez, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, says that he has many questions. Alright, David, let's see what you got. And yes, I have looked at these ahead of time. What do I think of Teen Titans Go getting a movie? I think it's a terrible idea. I don't think many people are going to go see it. I mean, I'm even surprised that Friendship is Magic got a movie at this rate, because isn't that whole brony thing over by now? But Teen Titans Go getting a movie, while I don't agree with it, it makes sense, because it's making a lot of money, although steadily less, according to tax returns and profit margins for Cartoon Network. But, oh well. I'm hoping that this is the end for it, though. Like, this is what ultimately makes it stop. I'm hoping that, but something tells me I'm gonna be wrong. I'm not gonna see it, I'm not gonna waste my time with it, but if you want it, more power to you. Just don't try to get me involved with it. I won't see it. Who is my favorite Super Smash Bros. Fighter? Mr. Game & Watch. Always has been. Ever since I was first introduced to this thing, it was at my friend's place, and yes, we are still in contact if you're wondering. He was showing me the game, and I thought it was really cool, and I recognized a lot of the characters like Mario, Sonic, Donkey Kong, Link, Samus, Pikachu, all those people. There's this one that I could not recognize for the life of me. It was this strange black flat person, please don't interpret that the wrong way, named Mr. Game & Watch, and I had no idea what he was or where he was from, and they told me a little bit about him, and I decided to give him a shot, and I've been kicking butt with him ever since. My other couple ones, these are some runner-ups, they would probably be Wario. I really like Wario. Ganondorf, he's always a lot of fun. Pac-Man in the new one, because, well, I've always liked Pac-Man. And I'm also pretty handy with King Dedede, but still, it's not Donkey Kong, sorry, I was reading the next question. Mr. Game & Watch, and yes, here we go. Next question is, what do you think of Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie Conker's Bad Fur Day and most rare games, including Yooka-Laylee in the Donkey Kong Country series? Well, Yooka-Laylee is actually not Rare, but made by somebody who was from Rare, but let's go over that. Donkey Kong Country, I haven't played them a lot of recently, but I have when I was younger, and I thought they were really fun. I don't know if they still hold up, but I'm pretty sure they do. I mean, they're well-designed games. Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day are two of my top 5 favorite games that I said my favorites and least favorites video, one of them at least. And I think it is a lot of fun. Both of them are. Even though the latter is extremely raunchy, I still think they're very well made and very well organized, especially the Banjo-Kazooie. It's very creative, very cartoony, very fun. The only problem is you have to recollect every single thing when you leave a room, and that's just a little minor thing. Banjo-Tooie, while I don't think it's as good, I still think it is still a very, very good game. Basically, every Rareware game from the N64 series I like. And then there's the nuts and bolts, grabbed by the ghoulies. None of them really worked on the 360. And now those Kinect ones, they were good-ish, but not Rare. I have not played Yooka-Laylee. I've heard good and bad about it, but I'm going to try it one day and see whether or not I like it myself. And then he also asked if VeggieTales was released by another movie, do you think it'd have a DreamWorks logo in front of it because it's released by DreamWorks? Hard to say, but I seriously doubt they're going to get another movie because after In the City's over, it looks like they're going to be done with the VeggieTales IP. They have announced no further things with it, no more spin-offs, no more movies, no more episodes. Looks like they're finally retiring that because I don't know if you know, but the series has hit a rock bottom when it comes to popularity lately. Whether it be the designs, the poor writing, anything. You can defend In the House / In the City / The New Era all you want, but you cannot deny that it is doing them no favors in the business world. So, yeah, looks like this could be it for VeggieTales, so I don't know, we'll just have to see. VeggieTales Out of the Kitchen asks what my favorite color is. Blue. I think that's all I can really say about that. Geo Craftsman asks, how many people have asked me to review Moral Oral? Exactly 0. Okay. as is, has a very intricate one that is divided into 5. What is my least favorite / favorite episode from each of these shows? And there are 5. SpongeBob SquarePants is the first one. My favorite episode is Chocolate with Nuts. It has always been my favorite. It is a laugh riot, and I can never get tired of it because of all the jokes going on there. It's just absolutely fantastic. Comedy gold, if you ask me. Least favorite episode is kind of tough, but I remember the episode that got me to stop watching SpongeBob was Truth or Square. That one was, it's not my least favorite because actually, funny enough, Truth or Square I kind of like, only for the Patchy stuff. Here's the thing with me. I'm a sucker for Patchy. Every single thing he's in, I will watch it. And the SpongeBob stuff is terrible, but I like the Patchy stuff as a guilty pleasure. I admit it's bad, but I still kind of like it. But when it comes to least favorite, there are a lot of obvious choices that I can't go with, like SpongeBob You're Fired for one, or a lot of the more recent infamous episodes because I haven't seen them. I kind of stopped watching SpongeBob for a while. But my least favorite is honestly Little Yellow Book. I know it's like considered a bad one and all, but not like the worst. But even though this is a recent one, I did see this one after Mr. Hunter reviewed it, and I was kind of curious. And that was awful. It really was just terrible. I couldn't find anything good about it, really. So yeah, Little Yellow Book is my least favorite. Chocolate with Nuts is my favorite. The Simpsons. Oh, you cheeky, cheeky little monkey, you. I am not supposed to tell you because of the whole Simpsons TV talks, which will come back in November. It's always November. But I'll just let you in on this. I mean, it's not really going to affect anything. Cape Fear is my favorite, and probably always will be. And The Monkey Suit is my least favorite. I'm going to get to that when it comes time. It's going to be a little while, but that one is by far the absolute worst. Modern Simpsons can't touch just how bad The Monkey Suit is. There's a reason why it's the least aired episode. Well, I'm not kidding. I actually looked it up. It's the least aired episode. Because a lot of people don't like it, and for whatever reason, they just feel like not airing it. Even though they do air a lot of episodes that people don't like, a lot like Principal and the Pauper and Kill the Alligator and Run. South Park. Okay, so I don't know if I've ever mentioned that I was a South Park fan, but there is another South Park question actually I'm going to do next. But I don't know if I ever mentioned I liked it. I don't know, but I do. So South Park is, for me, I'm going to give my review of it real quick. It's a very clever show, but it's a very hit-and-miss show. The episodes are either great or they're terrible. So, my favorite episode from the show has to be Cartoon Wars, because I hate Family Guy with a passion. I really, really do. And just the ways they make fun of it, and just the whole, you think that's bad? Remember when I auditioned with David Hasselhoff's car? That whole thing, it's just so accurate to a Family Guy episode, surprisingly, and it's really funny. It tells an epic story, and the characters get a lot to do, and it's of course just classic South Park hilarity. Sure, it was censored at the last minute, but it was still great. Least favorite? Well, you're gonna find out in just a bit, because that's the next question. Okay, so, Futurama. Favorite episode is Luck of the Fryish. Jurassic Park being right up there, but Luck of the Fryish I felt was a little bit better than Jurassic Park. Not only did it have the heart that it had, the other one had, but it also has a lot of the humor. It has both of those things into one, which is the one thing that Jurassic Park was kind of lacking, was the humor. But, yeah, that one's my favorite. Least favorite would be everyone else's least favorite, Newtopia. You know, the one where everyone gets the gender swap thing? It's like DeviantArt, but in Futurama form. And that one was thoroughly unpleasant, and I'm right up there with everybody agreeing that it was terrible. Modern Family, ooh, this is going to be absolutely tough. There are so many episodes in here that I think are great, and so many that I think are in the recent years that have been terrible. I mean, I know my least favorite, you all do too. But the favorite, when it comes to favorite, ooh. Favorite, I'd probably have to say Goodnight Gracie, the season finale of season 4, and for the everyone thinking of the golden age of Modern Family, because a lot of people say the decline happened in season 5, which I do think there were some signs in there, like Andy, and a couple other Flanderization bits, but for the most part I thought it was very well done. But still, Goodnight Gracie has a lot of humor, a lot of character development, and a lot of heart. It's got a lot of that, specifically a lot of development with Phil and Alex. With Alex thinking that she was overlooked by her grandmother, and then Phil, of course, coming to terms with his, to the audience at least, unseen mother. And of course, there's a lot of great humor, like Jay's subplot, and Gloria's little bit with Mitch is hilarious. Just the whole thing is very well done, and of course, everyone knows the worst episode, and this has gone down in infamy right now. It's All Things Equal, or whatever it's called. That one I made that 11-minute immediate rage video towards, the one that was just saying, you shouldn't have voted for Trump, oh no, everything's gonna go terrible now because, oh, woe is us, woe is the nation. There's just that 22-minute whine fest that couldn't even tell everybody what the real feminist issue is about. It was terrible. If you want to know more, look up my video, The Worst Episode of Modern Family, and that'll tell you everything else you need to know. Okay, so Raven the Commentator 2001, I'm hoping I'm saying that right. I can't really read it for some reason. This is the one I was going to talk about. This is a bit of a sensitive topic, but what is your opinion on the 20th season of South Park? Least favorite episodes of South Park. So here's the thing. For those who don't know, and I'm guessing that's like 3 of you right now, they decided to make this giant story arc about the 2016 election, which, on the surface, sounds great, because whether you agree with Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, there are a lot of stuff you can make a lot of jokes with. But the problem is they tried to make it straight. They tried to tell like a compelling story. And they barely attacked the candidates at all. I mean, they just made Garrison Donald Trump. That's it. And now they have to write him out of the show, kind of, because he is the president. Because, yeah, Trump won, and a lot of people didn't expect that. And among the people not expecting it were the South Park people. They thought Hillary Clinton was going to win. So they wrote the story as if she won, but it didn't happen, so they had to rewrite it last minute, and it's very obvious. The member berries stuff and the Danish trolling and all that, or whatever, nothing was funny. The boys barely got to do really anything of substance except for Cartman. Kyle got some stuff here and there. Kenny was just absent, and it was really terrible. I can't remember a single funny joke, a single clever comment on the political situation of today. I can remember nothing good. Everything was terrible. The political stuff was too far. Because one thing, even though I myself am absolutely fascinated with politics, that's one of the reasons why I had that now defunct second channel, is just that I'm fascinated with it, but it's everywhere these days. Because it's such this huge divide, and having another political opinion is just a sin. Everything is politicized today for the culture, for this generation. It's too much. And South Park, I wish, could have used there's at least a couple episodes to make fun of this, but they did nothing. They just further politicized everything and is not really helping. Luckily, from what I've heard, this new season's very good, so I haven't seen it yet, but I'm definitely going to go try that whenever I can, but I don't have much time. But yeah, so that is my review of Season 20 of South Park. Okay. Red Elastic 98 says, what is your least favorite cartoon show that ever existed? Family Guy. I mean, I know I mentioned that above, but Family Guy is just the laziest, dumbest, crudest thing I've ever seen, and I don't know how it's lasted this long. And for those who are wondering, no, I've never liked it at all. Not even the old stuff that everyone claims is good. I still hate it. I mean, if it's just stayed at that quality, or if it just died out at Season 3, then maybe it would have just been like, it wasn't good at all, but, you know what, to each their own. But now it's gotten to the point where I can't fathom how people still watch it. And to think that that thing is beating out The Simpsons. I mean, The Simpsons today is still pretty bad, but that is just terrible. Absolutely terrible. Clemens Productions asks, have you ever heard of Bendy and the Ink Machine? No, I have not. My Melody asks, have you ever heard of the show Block 13? I have, but it doesn't really look like anything above a South Park clone. It's like the Simpsonades all over again. So, Jojo Siwa Love, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. What is the play you are currently working on? Well, making up a song about Coraline. That's right, and I am Mr. Jones / the other father, and it's a lot of fun. We open Friday. Go see it if you can, which I don't think you can. Da Chi asks, have you, also known as Axis, have you, you said before you like Looney Tunes, what's your opinion on Back in Action? Hit and miss. There's a lot of stuff I like and a lot of stuff I don't like. I like the stuff with Bugs and Daffy, of course. I like a lot of the environments they throw them in. That scene in the museum is amazing, and the animation on them is fantastic. But I don't really like how they focus more on Brendan Fraser's character rather than the Looney Tunes when it's called Looney Tunes Back in Action, not Brendan Fraser Back in Action featuring the Looney Tunes. I also don't like how some characters just kind of get sidelined, like Marvin or Taz barely get anything to do, while characters like Bugs, Daffy, Yosemite Sam just get like a ton. Especially because Taz is my favorite, so it's kind of there. But there's some stuff I like and some stuff I don't like, so it's kind of hard to come up with a fully fledged opinion on it in my eyes. Cave Cat has 4 questions for me. Alright, let's see what you got. What are your thoughts on the new DuckTales reboot? I've only seen a couple episodes, and I have seen a bit of the original here and there, but I think it's very well done. I think this might be their next Gravity Falls. Like, if they play their cards right, this could be it. I mean, I'll still like Gravity Falls more, of course, but this is still very well done, and I think they did a really good job with making the show. What do you think of Garfield and Friends? Very good show. A lot of people don't give it credit for just how smart it is. When it comes to shows that are more geared for adults than for kids, I point to this show because there's a lot of jokes about network censorship and corporate greed and stuff that kids are not gonna get. And of course the sheer creativity and line delivery and all. I'm happy to own an animation still from it, and I still really like the show. Although, I gotta say, controversial opinion, the second theme song is the best one. You know, that come on in, it's time to party with Garfield and Friends. That one's my favorite of the theme songs. But I will agree with everybody else, that last theme song was terrible. If you could choose another Bible story to make a VeggieTales episode out of, what would you choose? You'll see. The show's not over yet. Ours isn't, at least. What was your favorite childhood shows and cartoons? Well, obviously, of course, there was VeggieTales. That was a huge one for me. I also really liked Sonic X as a kid, and I'll watch it here and there occasionally. I mean, watch my review for my full disclosure on that one. Yeah, I was a Sonic kid as a kid, and, well, I think it's kind of obvious by the times that I've said that multiple times. SpongeBob was my jam as a kid. I loved Fairly Odd Parents. But when I was younger, let's see. My parents said I watched Sesame Street a lot, but I don't really remember that. Never got into Power Rangers, but, Bob the Builder was one of them what I liked as a kid. I remember that. Thomas, absolutely, when I was young. And that's one of the reasons why I said I would never look at the movie when I still did movie reviews, because that one was just so childhood to me that I don't want to rip on it. So yeah, there's quite a few, but I hope that answers some of your questions. Now, right above here, Martha Igwe, okay, sorry about that, I don't know how to say this one. What happened to Presidentopia? The schedule, like, putting one out every week was too much. It wasn't drawing crap when it came to reviews, or when it came to views, and I think I'm going to revamp it. It's not gone, but I think I'm going to turn it into a political analysis channel rather than just a President Fact video, because what I do in my free time is not only study U.S. history, but I study political demographics and outcomes and all that stuff. Specifically elections, like the election in 1912 in particular is a lot of fun. Also the election in 1964, 1984, and of course 2016 is a boatload of fun too. But there's just a lot of stuff to look over for that, and I think I'm going to do some analysis stuff on that whenever I get the chance. It's not a guarantee, but I think I might do it. We'll see when the time comes. When did you know the Loud House musical wouldn't work? When you had to get a third Luann voice actor. The first one just said that she couldn't be a part of it because of stuff. The second one just never got back to me, and I told her she couldn't be a part of it anymore. And, well, then, when I had to go out to get a third one, I had a feeling that this wouldn't work. And then, sure enough, one by one, a lot of the actors just kind of dropped off. I had, like, 3 or 4 still stay loyal. Had that falling out with one of them there, but we don't speak of that. But yeah, I knew it wouldn't work. Like, I really wanted it to, but I know I make a lot of claims for stuff that's going to come out but never does. This one wasn't my fault. I really tried for this one. Now, I don't blame anybody in particular. It wasn't really anybody in specific's fault. It was just kind of unfortunate circumstance after unfortunate circumstance. It just wasn't meant to be, I guess. Have you found any movies you put on your favorites list since making that video? Yes, actually. Rear Window would probably be an honorable mention. I haven't actually seen it at the time I made that, but now I think it's really good. Another one I put probably tied with UHF now is Coraline, actually. I hadn't seen it since then, but like weeks after I watched it, and then I instantly regretted not waiting to make it, because Coraline, I'm going to try to make my own analysis video sometime when I get Alfonso to sit down and watch it, because he's been really busy lately with his own play that he's in, Tarzan. But, well, yeah, it's just so well done. The animation's great, the story's amazing, Other Father's best character, just saying. Yeah. And so, what is my best memory? There's a lot of them, like my vacations I would take with my family when I was young. We'd all go up to this lake place, you know, that one where Alfonso and I made the Spork in the Stone, that one. And we just kind of hang out there just about like every summer. My dad and I would always just go up there just for him and me up in our spring breaks, and it was a lot of fun. So that was long-winded and extreme. Joe Stivel says, what is my favorite meme? The only meme I really cared about was We Are Number One / LazyTown. You know, the Mine song, We Are Number One. That one was actually a lot of fun. And then who was my favorite superhero from DC and Marvel? Batman and Spider-Man, although they aren't my favorite superheroes. The Tick is my favorite superhero of all time. And what do I think of that new show out? Haven't seen it, really want to see it, but the other two incarnations of the Tick have been great, so I have high hopes. We got high hopes. I bet all of you get that joke. Buggety Bucket the artist asks, what is my opinion on Baby Einstein? Yes or no? Yes or no on what? Like, do I like it? I haven't seen it. I remember it came out when I was a kid, but I never watched it. So I can't say that I have an opinion on it. Okay, who else do we have here? Sorry, I sorted these out in a random order. This should be a lot more fluent than this. MBC Mekachu, also known as Alex Lavelle, you know him, asked me why I still refer to him as that, because, well, I don't know. Whenever I first see somebody's name, that's usually how I address them. Like Simon Ya, one of my YouTube friends, I still call him HQ something something something. But actually, I actually do call him HQ something something sometimes. But, you know, that's just still how I know people. Who is a well-known person I wish I could work for? Phil Vischer. That'd be a lot of fun. Like, whether it's Jellyfish Labs or Big Idea, it would be a total blast, I think. What are my thoughts on Yokai Watch? Never seen it. I don't really have any thoughts on it. Which fandom do you find the most weird or odd? Say what you will about the show, but the Steven Universe fandom seems to be going insane. I don't know what's going on with them. Like, it's almost like an Antifa situation going on there. It's just crazy. I mean, say what you will about the show. I mean, the show, from what I've seen, it's pretty well made, but I don't know. It's just, what's happening with these people? If you could choose out of a plethora of fan characters that have been created for this show, Live and Reloaded, what would be your top 5? Well, I'm not going to make a top 5 because there's only 10 original characters from the show, but I am going to give my 3 favorites. Howard, Mr. Vischer, and Henchy/Phil Anderson. Although Orlando and Patricia are still great, don't worry, because this is the guy who made it. But they're still great, and yes, we are going to put them in an episode very, very soon. Well, I would say very, very soon is in like the next 3 or 4, but that will take a while to come out given our schedule. But we'll just have to see from there. But yes, those characters we do feel are really good, and I'm pretty sure Alfonso agrees with me too. Do you plan to make a 3rd installment of Veggie Shorts? Sorry, slapped myself in the face to get it out. Veggie Shorts series. Yes, we do. We have 3 shorts on standby, but we need a couple more before it can come out. We've had a lot of production issues with them, and I don't know why. L0 Evo. Oh, I know I didn't pronounce that right. Let's see. Do you hope to create the next Sesame Street? Not exactly Sesame Street, but it would be nice to make the next VeggieTales. I mean, I don't know what God has planned, but, well, we are making our show, and we're hoping to at least make some people happy. What will happen to the channel once we go to college? Exactly what's happening now. Less frequent uploads, but it's still going to be as actively as we can get it. However, when we're done with college, that's probably when the channel will have some major changes. How come you can't tell us your name? Well, it's because me and Alfonso don't want to tell our names just yet. It's a privacy reason. There's a lot of things that happen when you reveal your full name. You just need to be careful. However, we will reveal our first names in due time. Don't worry. Will you make any shows that are educational? Only the biblical ones at first, because we have the one that we're gunning for right now, and when that ends, we'll have to see where we go from there. And it's probably going to be CG, or 2D, probably not puppets, but we're gonna see where it goes. Billy Willie, oh, hey, I didn't see this one actually, has 12. Okay, let's do it. Do you ever wish you could direct a full-length feature? If so, which company would you want to distribute your film? Okay, okay, yeah, so I would definitely like to do it, and it depends on what it would be. If it was a live-action one, it'd probably be Universal, but if it's animation, probably Fox. Because Fox seems to be the best when it comes to animation distribution. Or, actually, no, Leica. I'd say Leica, because I got some ideas for them. That'd be pretty good. What play do I dream of being cast in? If it's not again, because I'd love to be in Avenue Q again. That was so much fun. I'd want to be in The Little Shop of Horrors. Oh, that one's going to be fun. I'd love to be Audrey, too. But doing my Mr. Nezzer voice. How about that, Audrey? Feed me, Seymour, feed me. If you could remake any film, what would be your personal choice? Remake The Lorax, easily. And by remake it, I mean like overhaul it and then rebuild it from the ground up. But if we're not counting book stuff, then probably the Fat Albert movie. I mean, I thought it was decent, but I would like to see an actual Fat Albert movie. Once you've created enough family-oriented content, do you plan on making more mature themed media afterwards? Not mature like South Park mature, but maybe. We'll see when the time gets closer. Are you interested in the visual arts? If so, who's your favorite artist? Yes, but I don't really know any artists specifically, but I do like that kind of stuff. I am majoring, because he's asked my major, I am majoring in screenwriting, because, well, for our show, I'm probably going to be the head writer like I've been for Live Reloaded, and then Alfonso will take his role that he's usually been doing. Favorite form of animation? I'm a sucker for stop motion. I mean, the reason why we can't do stop motion for our shows is it's expensive and time consuming, but I love it. Have you seen any films like Wes Anderson? I don't think so. I mean, the name sounds very familiar, but I looked up some of the stuff earlier, because this is the only question here I did see somehow. But no, I haven't, actually. I don't think. What animation studio would I like to work with? Big idea, but if that's not possible, Leica would be a lot of fun. Because, well, one of the things I think, one of my ideas for a movie would be the Lorax, made by Leica. I think it would be a lot of fun. I mean, wouldn't Dr. Seuss look great in stop motion? And that way you can cut the Once-Ler's head down, you wouldn't be able to see it, and it would look natural. Some ideas for characters would be like Kelsey Grammer as the Once-Ler and Ian McKellen as the Lorax. I think it would look really good. And hey, that's just me. Did I notice the monkey bone Easter egg in Coraline? Yes, and I was very surprised they didn't give me monkey slippers to wear in the play. They just give me socks. Okay. And they're not monkey socks either, they're just bright, colorful red socks. But, oh well. Are there any hybrid animation films you enjoy? Back in Action's kind of a guilty pleasure. Space Jam, I don't know. Roger Rabbit is great, of course. And I'd like to see more stuff like that. Cool World is terrible, though. Is it better to follow your own opinions or blindly follow the opinions of someone else? Definitely get your own. And the words of Roy the Rooster from US Acres, aka Garfield and Friends, have a brain of your own, be an individual. Don't be a buddy bear. So you just gotta stand out and be your own person. Otherwise, you're not gonna get anywhere in life, trust me. I haven't myself had that, but you know, that's just kind of how it works. You gotta make sure you stay an individual. Lennon Dash asks that if I'm gonna make a top 5 regular VeggieTales songs video. Maybe, maybe not, but I'm not gonna tell you my top 5 right now, but I'm gonna tell you some that I really like. I like Love Your Neighbor a lot. I Can Be Your Friend, the Bunny song, of course, that's always great. I've always loved the Thankfulness song. The Battle's Not Ours is probably my favorite VeggieTales song of all time. Yes, even more than High Cell Cat. Oh no, what we gonna do? We've got some news. There's just so many to count right now. Oh, all the songs in Lyle are great, of course. So if I ever did make a list, I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time thinking over it because there's so many great ones. But basically, you can expect like my list to comprise of 5 of at least some of what I mentioned. That's safe to say, because those are just off the top of my head, so that's usually your best instinct to go with. And we're getting down to the wire, we got just a couple more left. Ian Sweeney says, do I plan on showing my VeggieTales collection? Maybe, I don't know, maybe someday. It's not really impressive, because I only have some of them from back when I was younger, but maybe sometime. What's my favorite type of cookie? Chocolate chip, you can't go wrong with that, but also white chocolate. I love that kind. There's one more question in here, but he'll have to private message me about that one. And for the record, Ian, it's number 3. You have to private message me about that one. And then SYU20, the final one. Do you think the songs from the Sega Genesis and SNES sounds a bit like 70s and 80s disco rock music? I suppose so. I mean, I'm sure like at least some of the Sonic stuff had quite a bit of inspiration from that. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so that was the Q&A, and hey, it didn't take years to come out with this time. Wow, amazing! So folks, thanks for asking all these questions. If I ever do it again, please ask more. You guys have been great. Stay lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely.